Your Royal Highness, I will do this in English slowly, the lingua franca for the Prince Albert Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, dear candidates, Prince Albert Fund alumni, presidents, everybody here, the mission of the Prince Albert Fund has stayed unchanged. You see pictures right there of people, honorable graduates of the Prince Albert Fund. We continue to help develop the business leaders of tomorrow and help create champions of tomorrow. It's been a perfect matchmaker between talent and companies since 33 years, since '84. 2 years ago we were here, and on this stage was a very eminent crop, a very eminent cuvée of the Prince Albert Fund. And at that time as well, we celebrated 30 years of the Prince Albert Fund, and we called it Prince Albert Fund 1.0. We essentially took a step back and said, why does it work? How does it work? What can be improved? What can be optimized to keep meeting the needs of the generations of tomorrow, of the companies of tomorrow? We named that initiative Prince Albert Fund 2.0. And the objective of the Prince Albert Fund was, how can we double its impact? How can we send twice as many candidates over the next 15 years as we did in the first 30 years? And there was a whole plan behind it. And there was also an invitation at that time for many stakeholders to help us make that happen. What I want to do is three things, is give you a quick update. How are we doing on PAF 2.0? Are we dreaming of more or something different? And absolutely, the objective of today is to celebrate the cuvée that has come to fruition and will eminently receive their diploma here today with us. The essential message that I would like to give this meeting is we're on track, which means that we are on track to double the impact, and we're also we've modernized and innovated and renovated the way we work. But to show you what this means, these are the numbers. On average, we sent 13 people per year for the first 30 years, until from '84 to 2014. Then you see, while we were re-establishing ourselves, and since this year, the jury felt comfortable and the financial capability has been built to send, for the first time, 20 candidates abroad. So the latest selection that happened a month ago, they have been chosen wisely by the eminent jury. High-quality candidates will be sent abroad, will be 20. We feel also confident to announce here and today that as of next year and the year after, we will be sending 25. And that our systems and capabilities are such to select 25. As of 2020, we feel confident, and we're still working on the last bits and pieces to make this happen. We feel confident that we can send 30 people per year on average to represent the mission of the Prince Albert Fund. So are we on track? Yes, we are on track. And can I thank, with this, all the stakeholders, everybody that has helped us to make that happen. I would say give yourself a big applause. Thank you very much. Now, a question we often ask is, where do people go? Well, a word that I learned recently was Chimerica. Chimerica is China and the United States, very clear. Now, the Prince Albert Fund sends people outside of Western Europe. So by nature, we have a more than fair share of certain countries. But if you look at it, and you look at the United States, continues to be the most preferred nation to send candidates to on behalf of the talent and on behalf of the companies, because it's a joint decision, followed by China. Together, if you look at it, 170 plus choices have been made out of the about 400, so 45% more or less goes to those two trade nations, which is much more than fair share. And it also represents the power that those two blocks represent for Belgium, for the future. And then you see the other, you see how we split language-wise and men and women. This is a visual representation of where all our candidates go. So we send our sons and daughters everywhere. And you see in the bubbles, no country, virtually all countries have been served, some more than others. And let me give you a visual representation of the companies that have been sending. This is page 1. I'll let you digest a few, maybe you find your own. This is page 2. And then from the last candidates that have been sent, these were sent. These are a representation. Now, what do you see in all these companies is that they get younger. It's not, we continue to hire and be a matchmaker of talent between the champions of today. But a mission of the Prince Albert Fund is also to support talent and match them with the champions of tomorrow, with the UCBs of tomorrow. UCB and others, and the Umico's and all the companies that are there and big today, and they offer and continue to offer fantastic traineeship opportunities abroad in the far-flung aspects of their company. And we have new companies that are coming up that are sending people the first international business development to country X or to country Y. And we want to find the balance between both. By having 20 candidates, or 20, or in soon 30, we can meet the needs of both the big and the coming big. One of those companies that we will share with you on stage here later, and that is looking for talent, is going to be Showpad. We have the co-CEOs here from, we have Louis Jonkere, who will be on stage and sharing a little bit of the Showpad story. Pieter-Jan Bouten is here as well to mingle with later on. Anybody who's in this room and wanted to work with Showpad, this is the time. Now, again, I want to explicitly highlight that PAF 2.0 is built on the principle of paying it forward. Many alumni, many stakeholders are doing enlightened philanthropy here. This is something we want to do. Many of us, of the alumni who work with it, started their international career thanks to a grant 25 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, by these people in this room, and people that preceded us, and based on the vision of Daniel Janssen, Michel Dittesheim, and others, so many years ago. So we continue to work in the footsteps and modernize and evolve. That is the basic principle. And again, I want to recognize that sometimes it's fashionable to say I work for a startup. And much as I love Louis and Pieter-Jan and Showpad, equally, the Umico's and the UCB's of today and the big companies of today are very worthy of our attention and our gratitude, because without them, we wouldn't exist. And the financing scheme of Prince Albert Fund would not continue. So I want to be very grateful for the big and the small. It's an ecosystem that is self-sufficient. I want to also explicitly thank the paying it forward attitude of the many alumni and the partners. This is a picture of the recent jury. We had multiple parallel juries for the people who made it to the live sessions. It was a very tough screening, and many of the alums and stakeholders around it were present to do so. So again, thank you for the time and the energy, because it takes time. I also would like to thank my fellow steering committee board members. The vision has been, as part of PAF 2.0, to have the alumni start to run the steering committee, with the help of the employer federations, both at national and regional level. And we thank all of them for their participation and support. Now, a very important thing here, you see that there have been 2 pictures up on the right. These are 2 of the youngest board members that will be joining the Prince Albert Fund of this cuvée that is celebrated here today. We've always been a pioneer and tried to change a couple of things, and we want to ensure that the voice of the younger generation is built in how we make decisions. Very soon, we will be making decisions for the generation that is born in the year 2000. We want to ensure that we speak the language of the people that are born in the year 2000. So I welcome Florian and Crystal to the board, and they will further work on the alumni work, on the innovation for the future, and you will hear much more. Which brings me to that question. as we work further towards our 35th anniversary in 2019, we continue to question who are we, where do we come from, where do we go? And again, as I said, we need to put ourselves in the shoes of the talent that will be born in the year 2000. We call them the M&M generation. In the M&Ms like the little Smarties, but MM is the Latin for 2 times 1,000. So the 2000 generation, you will hear much more about MM in the press in the coming years for sure. But what are their needs? How do they need to be trained? And the same thing goes for the companies. What are the companies that will be born in 2000 and etc.? So the M&M generation is clearly at the center, and we're going to have to think not only linearly. PAF 2.0, doubling, has been a reflection of modernization and innovation, but in the end, we doubled. One of the challenges we set ourselves in the steering committee is say, is there a possibility to think exponentially? And what that would look like, we will take our time. We deal with talent and companies. We will take our time and think about it. But that is the attitude. So we already have a working group of young people thinking about this. But rather than telling you this is what we're going to do, we're going to be more careful. Just saying, you know we are working on it. Some money, time, and energy has been set aside. And expect us in the coming years to debrief this group what it is that we're going to do exactly. But it will meet the needs of the MM generation and the young companies to come. With that, I would like to thank you for your presence of being here. I would like to also reiterate, as I've learned from Luc, never lose an opportunity to ask. So everybody and anybody that is here, time, energy, money is not bad. I live in New York. It's never bad to ask for money. We need all the help we can get, always, to continue to be able to do this. And I'm not shy to ask it. Again, without the help of people in this room, we would not be able to continue to achieve the ambition that we have. Thank you very much. And may I call to the stage Louis Jonker. Thank you.